there, Wargamers, and welcome to another Sanctioned Battle Report. I'm joined today by Leo, who's come down from Toronto with his Tyranids and Eldar today. So we have some possibilities of two different armies to go up against. So it's going to be kind of exciting. So we're going to be running 1,500 points. We haven't decided the mission or anything like that yet, but I'll be running a combined Cult Mechanicus with Space Marine allies and a first company formation. It will be the first time I'm running this formation, so I'm hoping it does well against your bugs. Although I'm noticing that you have lots of little gribbly bits, and I have no flamers.
I have some flamers too.
You have some flamers. That's why I don't have any. You took all the flamers. So this is gonna be a fun, exciting game, I hope. So we're gonna go take a look at the board and the table. But before we do that, if you guys ever want to come in and join us for a game, first off, we'd love to have you. We love meeting new people. We love seeing new armies. It's always a lot of fun. It's probably the best part of this job. But definitely hit us up. Go to MiniWarGaming.com/challenge, and you are going to get all the email addresses for everyone here. Find the person that you'd like to challenge, or just choose the game type that you'd like to play against, and we will definitely do whatever we can to make it a reality. So for instance, 40k or Infinity, if you'd like to get a game in with myself, or alternatively like War Machine, or 40k with Quirk, or War Machine, or 40k or Age of Sigmar with Steve. So basically, whoever you want to play, we have a way of making it happen. So go check it out, and hopefully we'll see you around. Anyway, let's go take a look at the board and the armies. And here's Leo's 1,500 points of Tyranids. So going from left to right, why don't you just quickly tell us what you got?
Okay, over here I've got a Tyranid CAD. So it's led by Hive Tyrant.
Okay.
He's got the usual loadout, Twin Link Devourers. I think I put Electroshock Grubs on him, but you'll find out in the battle as I use it. For elites, I've got Malanthrope.
Okay.
I've got a unit of Hive Guard. And then for troops, I got 2 units of Deep Striking Rippers.
Okay.
And then 2 units of Termagants with 5 Devourers in each one. They're 15 strong.
Fantastic.
And then I got 2 heavy support choices. One's a Dakafex.
Okay.
And the other one is a Tyrannifex with just the acid spray, and I got Electroshock Grubs on him.
Beautiful.
And right over here is a Living Artillery node. So it's got a set group of warriors. I'm going to be using this as a, what's the one called? The bigger blast.
Okay, well,
Stranglethorn
cannon or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Stranglethorn cannon. I got an Exocrine, and I got a unit of 3 Biowars.
Excellent. All right, so 1,500 points of Tyranids. And against the Tyranids, here's my 1,500 points. I have my Cult Mechanicus leading it off, so they're my primary detachment. There's a Bare Bones Tech Priest Dominus leading off that one. We have a unit of Destroyers with heavy grav cannons. And we have a unit of Breachers with the heavy arc rifles, which probably aren't going to do too much. Kind of wishing they were all torsion cannons right now. We do have 1 unit of Castellan Maniple in the back there with the twin-linked heavy phosphor blasters and the carapace-mounted phosphor blasters. And allied in with them, we have a small allied detachment of Space Marines led by a Mastery Level 2 Librarian and a 5-man tactical squad with a heavy bolter. And then I'm running the first company formation. So I have a unit of Sternguard veterans. There's 2 Combi Meltas and 3 Combi Plasmas in that unit. I have a unit of Assault Terminators, 3 Storm Shields and Thunderhammers with 2 Lightning Claws. And then I have a unit of Vanguard veterans, 2 with Thunderhammer Storm Shield, 2 with just close combat weapons, and 1 with Lightning Claws. And the Sternguard will be arriving in their draw pod. So that is going to be my 1,500 points. One other note, my Warlord trait for the Tech Priest Dominus is the Laird Psalm Code, so he's always going to be treated as having the 3rd tier for his Canticle effects, which is excellent. And my Librarian, his 2 powers are Perfect Timing and Precognition. And here we have the board, so we're playing Tactical Escalation. So we set up Hammer and Anvil, and we're going to start with 1 objective, moving into a 2nd and a 3rd for as the turns go on. As you can see, Leo has set up his Tyranid Swarm very heavily in this one corner. It's a big saturation. I'm really wishing I had some big templates to throw at it. Now that's the one I'm really worried about there. AP2 Blast with his barrage and pinning, no less.
Yes.
And the Hive Tyrant hanging out in the back there. So you can see a couple of the objectives very close to where he's deployed. And across the way, we have the Ad Mech and the Space Marines having set up. So there's the Assault Terminators ready to run right at the Tyrannifex. Got the Destroyers in the middle holding an objective, some Breachers holding an objective, and the TAC Marine squad holding a third objective right there. So at the moment, Leo did win the roll and he opted to deploy first to go first. So I'm going to attempt to seize and see if we can get first turn. So will I seize? Hey!
You do? Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, that might be a rough start to this game.
No, it's okay.
So I have seized, and the very last thing we're going to do is we're going to find out if there's night fighting kicking around, which there will not be. Okay, so let's go into Ad Mech, turn 1. At the start of my turn, I will draw my first objective, getting hungry for glory, so I have to issue challenges. I think I'm going to get rid of that at the end of my turn.
Yeah.
Additionally, at the start of my turn, I am going to use the Benediction of the Omniscience. So I have 4 Cult Mechanicus units on the table. So the Breachers and the Castellan Maniple are going to be rerolling 1s and 2s. However, the Destroyers, which has my Warlord attached to it and the Laird Psalm Code, they're going to get full twin linked for this round of shooting. Additionally, at the start of this turn, I'm going to use the Scryer Skull on the Tech Priest Dominus, and I'm going to identify objective number 2 and see what it is. 6. Ooh, that one is the Grav Wave Generator, I believe. So anyone holding that objective is going to be a lot harder to charge. And the drop pod with the Stern Guard going to come on at the start of my movement phase, and I think I'm actually going to put it right there. And hopefully not going to scatter off the table. 2 inches towards the gaunts here, which is exactly where I want them to be. These Terminators just going to move forward 6 inches and start going closer to the Tyranids and engage them as fast as possible. Dominus and Destroyer staying where they are, identifying objective number 4, which is 5. So that is going to be... ooh, that's the one that improves their cover save, actually. Yeah, so that's fantastic. So in the Ruins, they're now going to have a 3-up cover save. Breachers, they're going to... I think they're going to hang out as well in the cover, and they're going to have a 4. So that's going to be the targeting relay, or the targeting nexus. So they're going to reroll 1s to hit in the shooting phase. The Deathwatch TAC Marine squad are going to hold on to this objective as well, rolling a 4, so they are also re-rolling 1s. Now the irony is I tend to roll these guys as Imperial Fist anyway, so they already had Bolter Drill, so they're already re-rolling 1s in the shooting phase anyway.
Oh well.
So nothing really fancy there. And the Vanguard Veteran squad just going to jump forward, get behind this cover here as best they can, and hold on to objective 3. Which is 5, so they have an improved cover save. So behind this, that's a 5+, so they're not going to be a 4+ if you're shooting shooting past this piece of terrain. And Castellans just going to move forward 6 inches just to improve their line of sight on those Tyranids. That is the end of the movement phase. Going into the Psychic phase, I'll have a Mastery level 2 Librarian, so D6 plus 2, for a total of 7. And I believe you are also a Mastery level 2.
Indeed.
So we have 7 on 7. One thing I did forget to mention, running the first company task force, all the units from that formation do have preferred enemy Tyranids. Well, they have preferred enemy X, choosing Tyranids. And they are also counted as Imperial Fist, so they will have the chapter tactics for that as well, which is the Bolter Drill. So if I'm firing Bolter weapons, they will reroll 1s in the shooting phase. Starting with the Librarian here, I'm going to throw 4 dice at perfect timing to ignore cover. I'll get it with 3, but I will perils in the process. Are you going to try and deny that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Throwing all 7, but it still goes off. So let's see what the perils is. 1! Oh, crying out loud. I made the off comment that he's probably going to get sucked into the warp, and look at what I roll. So I need a leadership check to make. So with Shadows in the Warp, I am leadership 7. So we're going to see what happens to my Librarian and his squad. And he's going to get sucked into the warp. Alright, so the Librarian is just flat out dead, and I'm going to take D6 hits for 6 more hits. Fantastic. These are strength 6 hits, and I will take 5 wounds, which will kill the squad outright, because there's only 5 of them and no invulnerable saves. So that is first blood for the Tyranids. Well, that significantly changes my game plan. Unfortunately, I've just lost a rather chunky part of my force there, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do to readjust to this. So we're going to move right into the shooting phase, and we're going to start with the Destroyers here. Destroyers, they're going to fire into the Exocrine here. Just try and get rid of that AP2 blast that he has. So 18 shots, twin linked because of the wonderful layered psalm code. So hitting on 4s, twin linked. Not a bad start. 7 rerolls, adding, holy jumping, a whole lot more. So that's going to be 16 hits. With an armor save of 3, I need 3s to wound against this thing. You will get your 4-up cover save at the very least. So, oh, that's the trade-off right there. Rolled a lot of 1s and 2s. But either way, that's still a good chunk of wounds. So because of the Malanthrope and he is towing the ruins, he is actually going to have a 2-up cover save against this, which is quite devastating for me. So go ahead, and we're going to see 3 1s. So not terrible, but not the desired results. But either way, 3 wounds on that Exocrine. Next up is going to be the Castellan Maniple, and they're going to fire into the Exocrine as well, try and strip those last 2 wounds off of it. Starting with the 6 twin-linked shots, hitting on 4s. Twin linked, so re-rolling those guys. Okay, so 3 are going to hit from that one. Now I got to roll these ones separately because it's very important. If I end up getting any wounds with this, it is going to reduce your cover save by 1 because of the Luminogen special rule. So toughness 6.
Yep.
Alright, so wounding on 4s. And it's going to be 2 wounds with a 2-up cover save. And you made them both. Next up, the non-twin linked ones. These ones will be re-rolling 1s and 2s because of the canticle that I have in effect right now. So that is going to be 1 cock to die there. So that's a 1 and 2 and a 2. So 2 hits so far for a total of 3. And needing 4s to wound. 1 wound. So go ahead and roll your 2-up cover save. Hey! Another wound goes through. And his cover save is reduced by 1 for the remainder of this turn. Vanguard vets are just going to run forward, hug the cover 4 inches, and just stay close to that objective. Terminator's going to run forward as well, 6 inches. That's enough just to get them a little bit closer and getting ready to very likely accept a charge in their turn, or at least get shot a whole lot.
Yeah.
And that will end Ad Mech turn 1. I was not able to secure any objectives. I was not able to get first blood like I was hoping to over here. In fact, I gave away first blood, which was kind of disappointing, but one of those really interesting moments. And at the end of my turn, I am going to discard the Hungry for Glory, because the odds of me actually getting that are very slim. So I'm going to get rid of that so I can draw 2 new ones next turn. And we are going to go into Tyranids, turn 1. At the start of Leo's turn 1, he's going to get a single objective. What do we got? Secure objective 5. So there's objective 5. And if we just pan out a little bit, there's the Tyranid hordes. I think you got that one. Start of the movement phase. These Termagants, right?
Yep.
Yep, Termagants. Just going to move forward. I always get them confused with Hormigons. I can never get them straight for some reason. So just going to start charging forward towards the Terminators.
Through cover.
Next up, the Hive Guard are going to move through cover. So getting a total of 5 inches.
3 up, I guess.
Yep, so that's going to get them up on the second floor and getting them to objective 5. And we'll have to find out what that mysterious objective is. And the mysterious objective, 4. So they're going to be re-rolling 1s in the shooting phase. Not too bad for them. Malanthrope going to move out of the way. Or at least move back a little bit and just provide his nice little shrouding bubble. The Exocrine going to move through difficult terrain. Getting a whopping 5 inches. Just going to start getting a bead on the Terminators. I think I know where that template's going to go. The Biovores just going to move a little bit out of the way as well. So just getting all sorts of fun positions.
Alright, good.
Tyrannifex moving 5 inches through difficult terrain. Just going to move him back a little bit. He's got a Torrent Flamer. He don't care about range. These Termagants going to move through cover to get to objective number 2. We got 6 inches. So just going to, spreading out a little bit as well. Okay. And objective number 2 is the Grav Wave Generator. So that's going to be a little bit harder to charge them. Although I think they're going to be sitting pretty as there's other bigger, scarier things I'm kind of focusing on at the moment. Moving through difficult terrain for the Warriors. 3 inches. So just going to get them into a little bit of a better position. Stranglethorn Cannon just moving up a little bit just to get it into range and line of sight. Dakafex just going to reposition a little bit and move forward. And the Flying Hive Tyrant just going to go off and go all Rambo on the game. Just going to move forward and start looking at those Vanguard vets. And are you
with M6.
Are you swooping or
flying?
You're flying? Okay.
Whatever that's called.
Excellent. And we have a Psychic Phase, so Mastery level 2, D6 plus 2, for a total of 6. And I'll have 4 to counter that. Gonna start with Psychic Scream, targeting the Vanguard vets?
Yep.
Alright, let's see what you got.
1.
Okay, so that will go off with 1 successful charge. And, oh, I can't afford to lose anymore. I'm gonna throw all 4 of my dice at it. But I will fail to deny it. 2d6 plus 2, go ahead. That's going to be 9 total, actually, so I'm okay.
Yep.
So thankfully, none of the Vanguard are going to be taking any wounds. Going to throw the rest of his dice at Warp Blast, targeting the Vanguard vets. Alright. Oh, that's going to be 4 successes. I have nothing left to deny that with, so you're going to have to roll to hit and see what happens. And he's going to drop it on these rear 3 right here. On a direct hit, going to hit 3 of them. Ooh, no, it's going to scatter.
Yeah.
So the 4 inches is going to drop it right there, and it's actually going to clip the Castellan. Yep. So that's actually a little bit better, because the cover save's a little bit worse. Needing a 6 to wound on strength 5. Nothing. The Castellan remains unhurt. Exocrine going to shoot his large blast template, centered right over the Terminators here. And I'm really hoping for a huge scatter. That'd be fantastic. But your artillery node does give you twin linked, so you probably want to reroll that, yeah. It's not a bad scatter, but it's not a great one either. And 4 inches will bring it right there, and it's going to clip 2 guys. Wounding on 2s. That's 2 wounds. Now, thankfully, is this barrage? Well, I guess it doesn't matter because it's right in front of the storm shield anyway.
It's not.
So, 3 up invulnerable saves. And they'll make both of them. Next up, the Termagants, starting with the Flesh Borers into the Terminators. Go to town on these guys. Oh, that's a decent chunk of hits. Strength 4, wounding on 4s. All of them are going to wound, and I got a bunch of 2-up saves to make. I'll make them all. Devourers up next, 15 shots going into the Terminators, hitting on 4s. Well, that's a decent amount of hits. And these are strength what?
4.
Strength 4, so wounding on 4s. Alright, decent amount of wounds to go with that. Once again, 2-up saves. And 1 will go down. So bam! There goes the first Deathwatch Terminator. Tyrannocyte going to use his Torrent Flamer, hit the Terminators as well. We played around with it a little bit. 3 is going to be the best he can actually hit, but 3 is still better than nothing. Yep. Wounding on 2s. 3 wounds, and let's see if I can make the saves. Alright, they are still standing. Next up is the Stinger Salvo going into the Terminators as well. 4 shots. And it's going to be 3 hits. Wounding on 3s with strength 5. So that's going to be 1 wound. So 2-up save. No! I lose another Terminator. That's not good. Warriors with the Stranglethorn Cannon. Going to fire all the way across into the Castellan Maniple. Centered on that front one right at the cusp of the range there. And it's going to just scatter backwards. But he's twin linked, right?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. Direct hit. So it's going to hit 2 Castellans and 1 Destroyer. Oh. So against the Castellans, needing 6s to wound.
Nope.
Nothing. And against the Destroyer, this is toughness 5.
75s.
So 5s to wound.
Nope.
Nothing with a 3. Next up is the DAC effects. Gonna fire into the drop pod just for being insolent and bringing some squishy things that just showed up and died. So 12 twin linked shots, hitting on 4s. Not a bad start. 6 to reroll. And a whole bunch more hits added. 6s to glance, open topped. And 1, 2, 3. Now the only thing is, because it is open top, you could blow it up. So roll those penetrating hits and see what happens. Never mind, those are glances. I fail at math. That's why I do this and I don't work in any financial institutions, because I cannot add. So it is simply a wreck at this point, and just for ease of everything, I'm just going to take it off the table. Biovores now, going to fire their barrage templates into the breachers sitting in the terrain here. So the first template going down, you can move that. You can actually move the template now. Oh, you're going to want to re-roll that for your formation ability. There you go. So that's going to hit 3. And the second one is going to scatter, and it's going to flip right off and only hit 1. And the third one will be direct hit. So it's going to be a total of 7 hits. Needing 5s to wound with 7 hits. Oh, geez.
Oh, wow.
Okay, then. I see. That's how this game is going to go down. And I have some 4-up cover saves to make here. No! So I will... no, because you said this is AP3, right? Correct?
No, it's AP4.
Oh, it's AP4. Hey! Only 1 dies. Cool. I thought this was AP3 for some weird reason. Only 1 dies, but that is going to force a panic check at the end of this phase, though. In addition to the morale check at the end of the phase, they might possibly be pinned. At the very least, they're not pinned. The Hive Guard now going to fire their wonderful weapons that ignore line of sight and ignore cover into the unit of destroyers here. And these are AP4, you said?
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be a bad day for me. So go ahead. Hit it on 4s. Okay, only
ones.
Oh yeah, that's right, because you have that objective. All right, so that's going to be 4 hits. And what's the toughness, or what's the strength?
8.
Oh, jeez. Wounded on 2s. Okay, I kind of got away there with a little bit there. So I am only going to lose 1, but still, that does kind of hurt. But thankfully the Dominus is in there with his leadership 10, so he's going to hopefully keep them sticking around. And the Daka Tyrant, the Flyrant, going to fire into the Vanguard veterans with 12 twin-linked shots. Hitting on 4s. Or no, sorry, this is hitting on 3s, not 4s, but
still
twin-linked.
terrible, though.
Yeah, that's the least probable one I've, or at least statistical. There we go. There we go. This happens.
Sorry I said anything.
This happens every time I see the Flying Hive Tyrant. They always get like 10 or 11 of their 12 shots.
Exactly.
It's always crazy. Wounded on 2s. There we go. That's a whole bunch of saves I need to make. I do have my 3-up armor saves against this, so let's see how many can survive. And I will lose 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. So 4 of the Vanguard vets go down. Last bit to do in the shooting phase. We're gonna run with the Termagants. 3 inches. Do they have fleet?
No.
No? Okay. So we're just gonna move forward a little bit and secure that objective, basically. And that is going to end the churn. I don't think you have any assaults to declare.
Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, you do have an assault? Okay. So these Termagants are actually going to assault into the Terminators here. Now, I have no Overwatch, because nothing fun or fancy on that one. So they're just going to try and charge in.
Yep.
How far do they go? 4 inches. And no fleet, right?
Nope. Ooh. I think that's probably out.
I don't think they made it. So let's just quickly measure. Yeah. And that is out, granting the Terminators a bit of a reprieve. And at the end of the churn... Thankfully, my Space Marines here, these guys are fearless, because the first company, or first company task force. Same with the Vanguard vet over here. So even though he's down to his last guy, he is fearless. But I do have a couple other checks to make. So first one, we're going to see if the Destroyers and Dominus run away, which they do not, thankfully. And the Breachers on Leadership 8 are fine as well. So thankfully, they're going to stick around. And hopefully my shooting will be enough to sort of counter this wave of Tyranids as they come in, as we go into Ad Mech, turn 2. But before we go on and do that, you were able to secure Objective 5 with your Hive Guard.
Yes, indeed.
So that is 1 point for you, plus First Blood. So you're currently up 2-0 on me. At the start of my turn, I will draw 2 objectives. So secure Objective 1 and secure Objective 6. There's Objective 1, which I happen to be holding at the moment, and Objective number 6, which I'm also holding. So that is going to give me 2 easy points this turn, but it does mean that these guys are kind of stuck where they are. And I'm going to take advantage of one of the command benefits for the Battle Congregation of Cult Mechanicus, something that I've forgotten about all this time. It allows me to reuse one of my Cult Mechanicus canticles. So I'm going to reuse Benediction of the Omniscience and just try and pour as much fire into things as I possibly can. The Terminators are just going to move forward 6 inches, and they're going to eyeball the Hive Guard there instead of the Gaunts, because Gaunts are just small pickings. But if I can get into the Hive Guard, that's going to give me a bit of a heads up there. The Castellans are just going to reposition a little bit, and they are going to eyeball the Hive Tyrant over here, and hopefully do some wounds. If not, just completely take him out. That would be fantastic. But that is the game plan. This Vanguard Marine is just going to jump over this way. Still staying out of line of sight. Just going to move him back a little bit, actually. The Destroyers and the Dominants going to stay put. Same with the Breachers. And that's going to put me right into the shooting phase. Destroyer's going to fire into the Exocrine again. Try and take out that last remaining wound and your AP2. Because if I can take that out, I'm feeling a little bit better about what's going on. So this is going to be 12 shots, re-rolling because of Twin Linked from the Canticle. Hitting on 4s. So that's a good start right there. 4 dice to re-roll. And that's going to add 2 more hits. 3s to wound. Oh, that's more 1s and 2s than I would have liked to see. And holy jumping, that's a lot of 6s. Okay. I just want to see 1-1 here. That's all I need to see. Just a single 1. Yes!
Got it.
Yes! Got it! And the Exocrine goes down. And I'm taking a lot of pleasure from a very minor victory on my part. But at least I finally killed something for the Tyranids. I'm going to move on to the Castellan Maniple, and they're going to fire into the Flyrant. Would you like to jink?
What's the AP on there?
AP3.
Yeah, I'm going to jink.
Okay. So I'm going to have 12 shots. I'm going to start with the Twin Linked shots. Hitting on 4s. So 3 hits so far.
Wow. Nice.
And, okay, wow, that's a lot of 6s again. What's going on all of a sudden? Okay, and these are going to be wounding on 4s. So that's going to be 3 wounds, and you are jinking, so you have your 4 up cover save against this. And you made all 3.
Right.
Next up is the non-Twin Link. These are just going to be re-rolling 1s and 2s because of the Canticle. Okay, so 3 hits so far, and I'm re-rolling 2 dice. For a total of 4 hits.
No hits, he's flying.
That's right. That's right. So I think I rolled 1 more die than I should have on the wounds last turn. But you are absolutely right. He's flying, and I was getting a little ahead of myself. So thank you for pointing that out. And nothing against the Flying Hive Tyrant. And the Breacher is going to fire their heavy arc rifles. Their only valid target is the Flying Hive Tyrant. Eating 6s. No 6s, but re-rolling those 1s and 2s. No hits. Last up is the Heavy Bolter from the Attack Marine Squad. Once again into the Flying Hive Tyrant. It's its only target. Hitting on 6s, re-rolling 1s. So 1 re-roll. So only 1 hit. Strength 5, so wounding on a 5. No wounds. So that Hive Tyrant remains standing, and I only killed 1 thing this turn. Things are not looking good for the Ad Mech. These Tyranids just keep barreling in. But let's jump into the assault phase. These Assault Marines, they're going to declare an assault against the Hive Guard here. So it's going to be through difficult terrain, and you're going to get some Overwatch.
I am indeed.
Okay. 6 shots, hitting on 6s. 2 hits, and these are strength 8. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Just a little bit of bad weather here. So go ahead and roll the wounds on 2s. Okay, 2 wounds. 2 up armor saves. No! Oh, no! I lose another Terminator. Things are not going well here. But at the very least, I will get to assault in, hopefully. Oh, that's going to be tight. 3 inches was enough to get him in, thankfully. So, the little things are what's important. So I have locked these guys into combat. All the Hive Guard going to pile in, and they're going to be going first because I have no assault grenades. Because why would you give your first company guys assault grenades, right?
I know, seriously.
Yeah. So we're going to have a bunch of attacks from the Hive Guard. 6 attacks, hitting on 4s. Oh, that's not too bad.
Alright.
And these are strength 5, so wounding on 3s. And we have 2 wounds, 2 up armor saves. There we go. My attack's back, starting with the Lightning Claws. Now they do have preferred enemy because of the first company task force. So hitting on 3s. Oh, all are going to hit. So toughness 6, so I am wounding on 6s, but I will have Shred kicking around. And preferred enemy, so I get to... Yep. Well, I guess Shred is better anyway. So needing 6s. There's 2 so far. And Shred... No. Okay, so 2 wounds, which is enough to take 1 guy out. And then my Hammer will pile in and get his 3 attacks. Hammer is hitting on 3s with preferred enemy. Oh, only 2 hits, wounding on 2s. And that will paste another 1. And your Hive Guard, I believe, are still within Synapse. So they are probably going to be fine. So at the end of the phase, there's just going to be 1 more pile-in step as everyone sort of just gets into base. And at the very least, my Terminators are locked in combat. So that's actually not too bad for me, as we end the turn. So at the end of Ad Mech turn 2, I was able to get both Objective 1 and Objective 6. So next turn I will be drawing 3 more objectives. At the start of Leo's turn 2, oh god, it's only turn 2 and you've killed that much of mine. You're going to draw 2 more objectives. You have Hold the Line, and what else? You have Kingslayer, so you're probably going to be going after my Dominus this turn. We do have some reserve rolls to make, so Ripper Swarm number 1, is it coming in? Rolls a 4, so it is. And Ripper Swarm number 2 is also in, so all your reserves. First Ripper Swarm going to come down near Objective 4 in my Dominus. Direct hit. You missed a D6 there, but with a direct hit it doesn't matter. So the first one is a...
It would have been a lot.
There we go, just to be legit. And the second one, just going to go nearby as well. Okay. And do they scatter? Ooh, 9 inches. It's going to put them right into this corner, but with only 3 bases, you're definitely not going to miss App. Flying Hive Tyrant going to start the movement phase. Just going to zip forward and get really close to my Dominus, and I have a sneaking suspicion you're going to make me make a whole bunch of 2-up saves. Next up is the Gaunts. Termagants, where are they going?
Still trying to decide.
Alright.
I think just out.
Yeah, just going to keep moving forward and start advancing towards other objectives. Tyranifex, moving through cover for a total of 5 inches, and that's enough to get them nice and close to the Terminators, probably to charge them. Biovore is just going to shift back a little bit, just so you get within 12 inches of your deployment zone, so you can get Hold the Line.
Got it.
And this other guy, he's going to have to move around this way to stay within coherency, but there you go. Warrior is going to move around just to give the Malanthrope some space to work with. So 6 inches. And there they go. And the Malanthrope moving through cover, 5 inches. Just going to dip him into the ruins there and benefit from the Shrouding and 4-up cover save to get a total of 2 up. These Termagants moving through cover for a total of 5 inches. Just going to get out of the way of the Carnifex so he can barrel in and help out against the Terminators. And the Carnifex is going to move through difficult terrain as well. 5 inches. Just going to get a little bit closer. Now my one saving grace here is that after a charge, he might not be able to fit through, so that's going to be... It's going to be tricky, but either way, I think these Terminators are going to get smushed pretty thoroughly. And that will be the end of the movement phase, so let's jump into the Psychic phase. So you have your Mastery Level 2 Hive Tyrant, plus 3, so you have a total of 5 to my 3. So he's going to toss his dice at Psychic Scream, because he's got a nice little Nova range of everything here. So how many dice you want to toss at that, of your 5?
I'm going to toss 4 into it.
Okay, go for it. And that will succeed with 1. I need a 6. Need a 6! Yes! Got the 6! Okay, so my guys will not just die to a screaming Hive Tyrant, thankfully.
Yes.
And Dominion next, but it does not go off. In the shooting phase, starting with the Hive Tyrant into the Dominus and his Destroyers. Hitting on 3s, twin-linked.
Hitting on 6s.
Sorry, hitting on 6s, that's right, because he jinked.
Yep.
But still, twin-linked. There's 1 so far. How many more are you going to add? Oh, only 2. But still, this is going to be wounding on a 2. No, sorry. That's right. Majority toughness 5, sorry. So wounding on a 3. So, 1 wound. And my Dominus will just try and tank this. And he will. Ripper Swarms into the same unit, hitting on 4s.
5s.
Oh, 5s.
Ballistic skill 2, but twin-linked.
Twin link though, so there's actually a good chunk of hits to start with.
Nope.
And the next batch, only going to add 1 more hit to that. 6s to wound. 1 wound, 2-up armor save, which I'll make. This Ripper Swarm going to go after the Breachers here, so hitting on 5, or sorry, on 5s.
5s.
That's still not a bad start to the roll. How many more are you going to add to that? So that's another 2 for a total of 7. Needing 6s again, 1 wound, 3-up save, which he'll pass. Biovores, all 3 of them within range, going to fire at the Dominus and his Destroyers. Just going to center right over the Dominus because the wing of the Hive Tyrant does not count. So go ahead and roll your first one. That you're going to want to make use of that twin linked, I think.
I sure am.
Yeah. There you go, direct hit. The second one is going to go where? And direct hit, so we're at 4 hits so far. And the final one is going to scatter from here to there, still adding 2 more hits.
Okay.
So that's going to be 6 hits total. Strength 4, needing 5s to wound. It's going to be 3 wounds. 2 up armor save. And the Dominus tanks them all. Termagant's just going to run forward 1 inch. So not quite as much as he was hoping, but it's enough to maybe clear a bit of a path for the Tyrannifex to make it in. Doing the same thing with these Termagants, running them forward for a total of 2 inches. Once again, just getting them a little bit closer to all the action. And conga lining back, actually. So scratch that.
Yeah, so that I got at least the 1-2 dead.
Yeah, so there you go. Conga lining back to get into the shrouded range of the Malanthrope.
Yep.
Into the assault phase, the Tyrannifex charges in, and
Let's double check this.
Oh,
4 is awfully close.
So subtract 2 for that, so it's a 2-inch charge.
Move through cover.
Oh, he's got move through cover?
Yep.
Oh, you're in then. You don't care. So you are definitely in. That's right, monstrous creatures have that annoying rule. Yep. Well, it's annoying when I don't have it. And the Carnifex.
I gotta add 3 inches to this, but
yeah, because you're going up the
7. Yeah,
up the level. So go ahead. And he's in as well.
So next 10 step, he does his.
Yep. So we have 2 Hammer of Wraths to make here. D3 Hammer of Wrath from the Carnifex for a total of 3. So we got strength. What is this?
9.
9. And that's going to be 2 right there.
No AP though.
No AP, thankfully. And doesn't matter. I'm going to lose them anyway. And that was my... Oh, that was the one who was going to be taking out your monstrous creatures. So that's not good. And the Tyrannifex gets a single hit. Nothing from the Tyrannifex. Going into the initiative 4-step, I'm just going to try and take out the Hive Guard. So he's going to pile in there. And hitting on 3s. So only 2. And wounding on 6s with Shred. Shred! Only 1 wound, not enough to kill him. We're just going to skip right to the monstrous creatures here, just because this Terminator is very likely dead. So Carnifex hitting on 4s. There we go, there's 2 hits. And just don't roll 2 1s. And there we go, the Terminator has died.
He gets an
He just reminded me I do have a 5-up invul against this. And there we go, he's dead anyway. And such an ignoble end for the first company that has come in to assist the Ad Mech here.
There's 1 guy left.
Yeah, there's 1 Vanguard vet left. Carnifex is going to consolidate 6 inches, Tyrannifex 4 inches, and the Hive Guard.
Right.
Yeah, Hive Guard is going to consolidate 1 inch. Carnifex with his 6 inches just going to go back a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think so. He's going to go down.
Yep. You're pretty much in a position where you just really have to consolidate your power now, and you're going to be good to go. And the Tyrannifex is just going to move forward a little bit.
He's just going to move closer to the objective.
Yeah, the Hive Guard just going to hold it. So that is the end of Tyranid Churn 2, and a good one for you. You were able to get hold the line by bringing the Malanthrope and the Biovores and Warriors back a little bit, so that's a victory point for you. You weren't able to get Kingslayer, but you're in a position where it shouldn't be too hard going forward, and you were able to take out the Terminators, so there's a lot of Tyranids still on the table, a lot of big scary stuff. Not quite sure how I'm going to be able to deal with it all as we go into Ad Mech Turn 3. At the start of my turn 3, we're going to see what I draw for objectives. Destroy, Record, Rejoice, Reclaim Lost Knowledge, and Recon. So those objectives going to give me something, I believe. I already have Recon, which is really nice because everything has been identified. And I'm going to try and just completely remove the Tyrannifex from the board at this turn. So hopefully grab an objective for that. And my Canticle for this turn is going to be Shroud Psalm. So all my Cult Mechanicus units will have Shrouded. But my Dominus and Destroyers, because of the layered Psalm code, will have Stealth and Shrouded, on top of sitting on this objective in Ruins. So they're pretty much sitting on a 2-up cover save as we go into Ad Mech Turn 3. At the start of my movement phase, this Vanguard Vet's going to jump 12 inches over here. Going to stay out of line of sight of as many things as possible for when I declare my assault in, so there's as little Overwatch going into him as possible. The Castellans are just going to turn around and eyeball that flying Hive Tyrant a little bit more. And once again, the Destroyers, Breachers, and Tactical Marine Squad are all going to stay put because they got to deal with what's in their backfield right now. In the shooting phase, going to start with these Breachers, and they're going to fire into Oh, I honestly don't know. I'm going to fire into this unit of Rippers right there. Hitting on 4s. 2 hits. And this is going to be wounding on 2s. And that's 2. Do they have any armor save?
No.
No.
Not against those things.
That's strength 6.
Piercing on that?
Oh, strength 6, AP 5.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely get it.
Yeah, so 2 templates go down. Next up, this Tactical Marine Squad going to fire into that same unit of Rippers. Going to start with the Heavy Bolter. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s for Bolter Drill. So that's 2 hits, 1 reroll for 3 hits total, and these are going to be wounding on 2s. So that's going to be 3 wounds. How many does he have?
3 wounds.
3 wounds? Alright, so that did eliminate, and that will give me Destroy, Record, and Rejoice. These 2 destroyers are going to fire into the Tyrannifex, and I think you're actually finally in range of their Phosphor Blasters as well, so I might be able to add a little bit more firepower to that. Going to start with a single Phosphor Blaster shot, because the other one is not within range, just on the off chance that I can get a wound and reduce your cover save. So hitting on a 4, yeah, it's going to hit. Wounding on a 6, that's not going to wound though. Now the 12 Grav Cannon shots into the Tyrannifex, hitting on 4s. Ooh, nice solid hit. Wounding on 2s. And that's a good chunk of wounds. 4 up cover save! And 2, 3, 4. And how many wounds does he have total?
6.
Oh, so the Tyrannifex is still sitting on 2 wounds remaining, but at least I was able to drop it a little bit. Castellan Maniple going to fire into the Hive Tyrant. Would you like to jink? It's AP 3.
How many shots did those things put out?
24 total.
From the twin-linked ones.
6 from the twin-linked, 6 from the non-twin-linked. Sorry, 12 total, not 24 total.
Oh, so 6 from the twin-linked.
Yeah, so it's going to be a total of 12 shots.
Okay.
Okay. Needing 6s to hit. Oh, there's 1 6 so far. And do I add any more? Oh, man! So these are the twin-linked ones. Needing 4s to wound. Alright. 2 wounds. Do you have any feel no pain or anything like that? So 2 wounds down. Next up is the non-twin-link shots. Need to see a couple 6s here. Oh, man! Oh, wow!
Okay.
Alright, need a couple 4s. No!
Still a chance though.
Oh, he can still ground himself, but oh, man. Oh, I got a Gamma Pistol!
Alright.
Gamma Pistol! Needing a 6! No, no Gamma Pistol. Okay, so that is the end of my shooting phase here. Now, what's really exciting is if he gets grounded, I can charge in. So
if he gets grounded, he's dead.
Oh, that's very true. Alright, does he get grounded?
He's not.
Okay, so he's fine. He remains fine. Down to a single wound remaining. Moving into the assault phase, this 1 lone Vanguard veteran is going to assault into the Termagants. 5 Termagants with the Flesh Borers and 2 with the Devourers can see. So starting with the Flesh Borers, 2 hits so far. And these are going to be wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. And he will just die. As all of the Marines in this game have done so far. And that will end this turn for Ad Mech. So let's go take a look at the objectives. So I was able to get Destroy, Record, and Rejoice, as well as Recon. I think I'm just going to discard Reclaim Lost Knowledge. At the start of Leo's turn, he's going to draw 2 more objectives, because he's still sitting on Kingslayer. And we have Secure Objective 5, and Secure Objective 3. So Objective 3 is right there. You should be able to, the Gaunts might be able to make a run for it. It'll be tight, but they might be able to get it. And Objective 5, he just happens to be sitting on it with the Hive Guard. So he's in an excellent position for those objectives. Starting with these Termagants, moving through cover, 6 inches. That's excellent considering the objective he wants to get his hands on. So that's definitely going to put him within striking distance of objective number 3. So with a good run roll, he will be able to get it. Flying Hive Tyrant is just going to spin around and just start moving away from the scary firepower.
So no synapse there, and there was no synapse to worry about back there. So.
Okay. And these guys have just moved down to synapse, but because we're already into the movement phase, no rolls to be made yet. Hive Guard just going to hang out there because he's within range of the destroyers. So instead, the Gaunts just going to move forward 6 inches and just keep barreling towards the Ad Mech lines. Tyrannifex going to move through difficult terrain.
Extra die.
Oh, yeah, there we go. 6 inches. So he's definitely going to get to where he wants to go. And where he wants to go is back. Now, is he within 6 inches of the Malanthrope? That's going to make a big difference.
He is now, but he will be for sure.
Alright. Excellent. Stack effects, gonna move forward 6 inches. Your nids really just want to get to where they're going. And gonna move them forward to 6 inches. Just barreling towards the Ad Mech defenses. Malanthrope up next. Want to get the Tyrannifex into range of his nice little shrouded bubble, which he definitely will. Biovore is just going to shuffle around a little bit. Just staying in the protective custody of the shrouding and cover. Warrior is going to move through difficult terrain as well. 3 inches. Just get a tiny little bit closer. Ripper Swarm's just going to move over a little bit and act to tie up these breachers, possibly in close combat. Psychic Phase, 2d6 or d6 plus 2 for a total of 8. And the Hive Tyrant is going to target the destroyers with Warp Lance, throwing 4 dice at it. I will succeed with 1.
It does not.
Oh, it's Warp Charge 2?
Yep.
Oh, okay, so no Warp Lance. And 2 to go at Dominion now. And just for giggles, I got 6 dice. Might as well just try and get rid of it. Hey, there we go. Dominion does not go off. Going into the shooting phase, the Hive Tyrant is going to fire into the destroyers with the Tech Priest Dominus. So we got 12 Twinling shots hitting on 3s. Let's see what you got. Not bad. 3 to reroll. There we go. 11 hits. 3s to wound. Majority toughness 5. Not too shabby. And thankfully, between the objective and Shroud Psalm and being in runes, I have a 2-up cover save against this. So I will take 1 wound on the destroyer. Hive Guard is next, firing at the destroyers and Dominus, needing, what is it, 4s to hit?
Yep. So 1.
Okay. And wounding on a 2. And this does ignore cover and it's AP 4, so my destroyer does die. Biovore is up next, gonna fire at the destroyer, placing the template over it, so it's gonna hit one of the Castellans as well if on a direct hit. First one goes down. You gonna re-roll that, or you have?
I am.
Okay. There we go, direct hit. So 1 and 1 so far. The second template, where's that going?
Hit. I can place it where I want. I want to try to get him as well.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2 and 1 now, and the last one. We'll flip this way, which will get the Dominus.
Okay.
So you're gonna keep that one as well? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's gonna be 4 on the Destroyer and Dominus, 1 on the Castellan, and the 4 hits. Oh, there's 2-1 so far. What's the strength of this?
4.
Okay, so 1 wound and a 2-up cover save, which I'll make. And needing a 6 against the Castellan, that will hit. 3-up armor save, which I'll also make. Termagants running forward 5 inches. Next turn, they're definitely going to be a very real threat for me to have to deal with. And the Carnifex up next, going to try and run forward.
Actually, let me change that. I'm going to run him first.
Okay, run the Malanthrope first then. For a total of 3 inches.
Oh, he's fleet. I'm going to try to reroll that.
Oh, you got greedy, sir.
I did.
But it happens. And now the Carnifex has a potential 6 inches to run forward. But is that keeping him within the 6-inch shrouded bubble?
Yeah,
okay.
The 6-inch shrouded bubble.
And these Termagants over here need at least a 3-inch run. Oh, only 2
so
inches.
Close.
We will double check that just in case.
No.
Yeah, so you did definitely need that 3-inch run to get the objective. And the Ripper Swarm's firing into the breachers. 12 shots, hitting on 5s. Twin linked though. 4 so far, and adding another 3, so total of 7. Needing 6s to wound. No wounds. Warrior's gonna run forward as well. 5 inches. Just trying to get that Stranglethorn Cannon into range of something now. So that will take us into the assault phase. You have 1 assault to declare your Ripper Swarm into my my breaches there, so I will overwatch.
Yep.
Needing 6s. 1 hit. And anything but a 1. No! Oh. So they got to roll anything but Snake Eyes. So they are definitely in. But going through difficult terrain, do they have...
this guy in first.
Do they have grenades of any sort?
No.
Oh, okay. So at the very least, I will be striking first. So because the Rippers went through difficult terrain, I will be striking first. I have 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. And as long as I don't roll 1s here, I'm going to take out 2 bases. There we go. So 2 Ripper Swarms do go down. 5 attacks back on the charge, hitting on 4s. Oh, only 2 hits. And what's your strength? 3?
I think so, yeah.
So on 6s. No wounds. So I did win combat. In this case, because it was a bunch of insta-kill things, I think you're needing Snake Eyes.
Yeah, I lost 6 wounds there, so I need Snake Eyes to stay. Nope, they're gone.
And initiative check to see if I chase you down. That's off the table there.
I got it.
So I got a total of 5 plus 3, I think?
I got 4.
So with initiative 8, I was able to catch them, and they're just going to not bother consolidating. They're just going to sit on that objective. And that will bring us to the end of Tyranid's turn 3. So you were able to secure objective 5. So you got a point for that. Still haven't gotten Kingslayer, and you weren't quite able to get objective number 6 or number 3 here. So you do have 2 cards currently. Are you going to get rid of any, or are you just going to draw the 2 for next turn?
I think I'm going to discard Kingslayer because it's really hard to kill that guy with what I have.
Okay, so he's going to get rid of Kingslayer, and next turn he'll be drawing 3 objectives. But before we forget, there should have been a morale check on this during the shooting phase. So let's see if they stick around using the Dominus's leadership. No! No! Oh no! Oh, that is not good at all. And they are going to run 7 inches. So that will bring the Destroyer there, and it'll bring the Dominus back here.
And out of their happy cover over there.
And out of their happy cover, so they really got to rally here.
Yep.
Start of my turn, I will draw 4 objectives. So we have Domination. Oh yeah, okay. We have Objective 2. We have No Prisoners. And secure Objective 4. So Objective 4 is right there. Hopefully I'll be able to rally and just go and take control of it again with my Dominus and Destroyer. Objective 2, however, it's all the way over here. I think I'll be discarding that or Dominion, one of those 2. And No Prisoners I might be able to get this turn, so let's see what happens. At the start of my turn, I'm going to declare the Litany of the Electromancer as my Canticle. So if the Dominus and the Destroyer get within combat, it's going to be 3 for each. Yeah, it's going to be 3 Strength 4 hits going in against a unit. For these guys, it'll just be 2 Strength 4 hits. And we're going to now see if they rally. Okay, at the very least they rally. They're going to get their 3-inch movement, which might be enough to put them back into control of Objective 4. And we just checked out, a 3-inch movement is enough to get the Destroyer within range. So I am holding Objective 4 and benefiting from the bonus to cover there again. And the Castellans are just going to keep doing their gradual fallback and just try and get as many turns of shooting as they possibly can against the Tyranid swarms. Going into the shooting phase, going to start with the Destroyer here, and he's going to fire into your Hive Tyrant. Would you like to jink?
Yes, I will.
Alright, so needing 6s. Come on! No 6s. But I do have 1 Phosphor Blaster, which will not hit either. Castellan Maniple, really not wanting to, but I have to. Gonna fire into the Hive Tyrant as well. Really looking for that Warlord kill now. Starting with the Twin Linked shots hitting on 4s. That's a good chunk of hits so far.
6s.
Oh, yep, sorry, 6s. So 3 hits is still a good chunk of hits. And needing 4s to wound. Come on! Oh, come on, dice. Alright, non-twin link shots. Nothing. Heavy arc rifles doing the same thing. And nothing's going to hit with them. Last up, the heavy bolter into the flying Hive Tyrant, needing 6s. There we go. 2 are going to hit. Needing 5s to wound. 1 wound, and you have a 3-up armor save against this.
From where?
3-up armor save? Ah, you made it. So the flying Hive Tyrant remains in the air. And that will end my shooting. I have no assaults to declare, so we're just going to check out the objectives. So at the end of my turn, I was able to get Objective 4, but I was not able to get No Prisoners, Objective 2, or Domination. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of Domination. We'll just ditch that, so I'll be able to draw 3 more objectives next turn. At the start of the turn, 3 more objectives for Leo. He's going to get Blood and Guts, something in Assault. No Prisoners, just destroy a unit, and secure Objective 1. Objective 1 is firmly being held by the Breachers at the moment, so it's going to be a tough one to get at them for this turn, but it might be worth holding on to. Starting with the Termagants moving through cover, 6 inches, that's enough to take Objective 3, giving you a point. And in addition, that is an objective that grants +1 to your cover save. So anyone on the crates are going to be getting a 4-up, and everyone else is going to be getting a 6-up. The other Termagants just going to keep charging forward, getting as close as they can, just to put as much firepower into what remains of the Ad Mech forces. Carnifex barreling forward 6 inches, wanting to crush something in this game. Flying Hive Tyrant, just going to turn around a little bit and just continue to be a nuisance as he flies forward. Malanthrope moving through difficult terrain. Jeez, your guys just are getting wherever they need to go. I don't think you've had a bad move through cover roll. Well, except for the 2 over here.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it's been pretty solid. Hive Guard, going to move through difficult terrain, going to try and get a little bit closer. Only 2 inches. So not enough to get off the building and still in a range. Tyranid, going to move through difficult terrain 5 inches. And where are you putting them?
Like right over.
Alright, just going to break through the wall.
Yep. Okay.
Biovore is going to move forward 6 inches again.
Nice.
Oh man, your mobility is just crazy this game. As they get forward, just get everything within range.
Forward so that the cannon can see out the...
Yeah, so warriors just move a bit forward as well. Going into the psychic phase, we have 2 plus 3, so total 5 to my 3. Gonna use a Warp Blast, throwing it after the Destroyer and Dominus. And that will succeed with 3, so I need to roll, oh geez, boxcars here. Not quite, so it does go off. And no matter where he drops, he's gonna be able to hit both. So, where does it go? Ooh, that's gonna scatter off about 5 inches. And that will hit nothing, unfortunately, so it was just out.
Okay.
And 1 die left for Dominion, which fails to go off. And I'm just looking at the Castellans, and I always forget to declare my Protector Protocol, which I've forgotten to do twice now in this game, which is really kind of costing me some shots here. But anyway, moving on to the DAC effects. Firing into the Castellans, 12 shots, hitting on 4s, twin-linked. That is a very good shot with the DAC effects, only missing 3 times. And that's going to be a total of 10 hits. Needing 5 to wound. Oh, only 1 wound. Alright, so 3 up armor save, which I'll make. Stranglethorn Cannon from the Warriors, going to fire into the Castellan Maniple, because he's finally in range of that one. So I think we measured it out, and he can center it right on the middle there. So direct hit will hit all 3 of them. And that's a direct hit. Strength 4, so needing 6s to wound.
Nothing.
Alright. Gonna run the Termagants forward 4 inches. So it's enough to get them into cover, and you're a combined arms detachment, aren't you?
I am.
So that's actually going to be your objective. So I am no longer controlling it for the cover save there. So good for you. So you are now sitting on a 3-up cover save with these gaunts.
Such a way that they're blocking everything.
These gaunts happy where they're standing, taking objective 3 and getting a good cover save. Biovore is going to fire all the way across the table, looking at these tactical marines that have been sitting on objective 6 all game, and a direct hit with the template will hit all 5 of them. So go ahead. It's going to scatter 2 inches. Do you want to try re-roll that?
Yes.
Alright. So let's see what happens instead. Ooh, that one's even worse. So 9 inches away, it's not going to hit anything, so it's going to just leave some Spore Mines instead. So 1 Spore Mine. And the Hive Tyrant is going to fire his Twin Link Devourers into the Dominus and Destroyer. So we got 12 shots hitting on 3s, Twin Link.
6s.
6s, because you did Jink. Alright. So that's 1 so far. And 11 rerolls. So go ahead, let's see what happens. For a total of 3. 3s to wound. And 2 wounds. Now the closest one does appear to be him right there. So I do still have Shroud Psalm active, and he is in cover, so it is still going to be a 2-up cover save. 4, 3, yeah, 2-up cover save. And he'll make them both. Running the Malanthrope. 2 inches forward.
Bleat.
4 inches forward instead. Alright. That's definitely going to keep a lot of things in your nice little shrouded bubble there. And the Tyrannifex. Keep on calling him a Tyrannocyte. 3 inches forward. Just enough to stay in the bubble.
And right.
And that's going to end the shooting phase. So we have 1 assault, which is the Spore Mine into the Castellan. So I will have a whole bunch of Overwatch against it.
Armor.
Needing 6s to hit, starting with the Twin Linked shots. That's going to be 2 so far. And Twin Linked. We'll add no more. And it's dead. So no Spore Mine blowing me up. And that will end Tyranid turn 4. So let's go take a look at the objectives. So at the end of Leo's turn, he was able to get objective 3. And you still have Blood and Guts, no prisoners, and secure objective 1. Would you like to get rid of any of those? So which one are you going to get rid of?
Objective 1.
Alright, so next turn you'll be able to draw 3 more objectives. At the start of my turn, I draw 3 more objectives. Kingslayer, Hold the Line, and secure objective 2. And I just realized something. My canticle was not the Shroud Psalm last turn. It was Litany of the Electromancer.
Oh, right.
So I'm going to go take a quick look back in the tape and see what the saves were. So upon reviewing the tape, I did actually get 4 upcover saves, so he is still good. But I apologize for that mistake, and I'm going to try and remember to put a little notation in there for everyone viewing it so they see that. So once again, I apologize for that. And at the start of my turn, I'm going to use the Canticle of the Remorseless Fist. So every Cult Mechanicus unit will be rerolling 1s and 2s in the close combat phase. This squad will be rerolling all to hits in the combat phase. Starting with movement, going to move them out. They are in difficult terrain, but I want to get Hold the Line. So I got to do that. 5 inches. And that, I'm just going to move him back far enough. He's not going to be able to stick around and cover either. So they're just going to move back far enough that they can get Hold the Line. Castellan's also moving back 6 inches. Just trying to get as much shooting still as I can. Attack squad going to stay where they are because they are currently within 12 inches. So I do have enough units back here giving me Hold the Line, and now it's just a matter of shooting whatever I can. Starting with the Destroyer, going to fire into the Hive Tyrant. Would you like to jink?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Needing 6s with the heavy grav cannon. That's 1 hit. Wounding on a 3. That's going to wound. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh! Wait, no. You're jinking. Yes! I got the Hive Tyrants! Oh, for a moment there, I forgot that grav cannons were AP2.
Yep.
And I was looking at it going, no, you made your armor 3! Oh, so the Destroyer comes out and gets me no prisoners, Kingslayer, and Warlord. So that is a massive, massive shot for me, keeping me in the game as we wrap up turn 5. Okay, so the Castellan's going to fire into these Termagants. Going to start with the twin-linked heavy phosphor blasters, hitting on 4s. So 4 hits so far, twin-linked, for a total of 5. So it's actually going to be a 2 upcover save because I forgot you were within the Malon's rope range. But anyway, wounding on 2s. That's going to be 5 wounds. So 2 up saves. 1 gaunt goes down, and your cover save is reduced by 1 now.
That's right.
Next up is the non-twin link shots hitting on 4s. And I'll hit with 3 of them, needing 2s. So that's 2 3 up cover saves that you need to make. So go ahead. And you made them both. These Breachers going to fire at the same unit of Termagants, hitting on 4s. And 1 hit, wounding on a 2. That will wound. So once again, a 3 up cover save. And you're fine. Tactical squad going to fire their bolters for the first time this game into this unit of Gaunts. Now at this point, still firing through the terrain there, so you're still sitting on your 3 up cover save. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s for bolter drill for 4 hits, and wounding on 3s. 4 wounds. So we're taking this one at a time. So Phosis is a 3 up. He's good. Oh, and he goes down. Uh-oh. And the next 3, 2 guys. There was only 2 more wounds that went through. Because you did 2 wounds against the front guy. You rolled a 3, then you rolled a 1. So there's only 2 saves remaining.
Okay, right.
So 5 up. Alright. So 1 more guy dies. Next up is the heavy bolter into the same unit. It's going to be a bunch of 5 up cover saves at this point. So 3 hits and wounding on 2s. That's going to be 3 5 up cover saves to make for those Gaunts. And 3 more Gaunts will go down. And that will end my turn. So at the end of Ad Mech turn 5, I was able to get a couple objectives this turn, which is good. So let's go take a look. So at the end of my turn, I was able to get Hold the Line, as well as no prisoners. And then Kingslayer, which is worth 1 point. But still, that's 1 more point, because it also gives me Warlord. Going into Tyranid turn 5, the current score is actually going to be 9-5 currently, because you do have First Blood. Now, we haven't calculated behind enemy lines yet, which you might be able to get. I know I'm definitely not getting it. But there's still a lot that can happen depending on what Leo draws going into his 5th turn. So let's take a look. 3 more objectives being drawn. We have Big Game Hunter, Recon, so that's going to be 1 easy point for you. And what's the last one? Secure Objective 3. So Secure Objective 3 you are currently sitting on. What that does mean though is that those Termagants probably aren't going anywhere, which kind of good for me actually.
Yep.
And Recon, everything has been discovered at this point, so that's going to be an easy point for you, so that's going to put you up to at least 7. So this could be a very big turn. So these gaunts we're going to move through cover. Now we already did the rolls.
That's okay.
I was going to say you don't have to worry about it, but yeah, we'll give you that because it's pretty much the same result. So 6 inches, and that's going to be enough to bring the rest of your gaunts into coherency, which is very important because it's keeping you from really advancing forward, which is a big deal for me right now. DACFX just going to move forward, staying out of the terrain so he doesn't have to roll, and definitely keeping him within range of his twin-linked devourers. This unit's going to move forward, still holding the objective, but get a little bit closer. 5 inches. That's going to be enough to get some guns into range while still maintaining the objective. Malanthrope moving forward a little bit. And then the Tyrannifex, woefully out of range, unfortunately. But still going to keep moving up, because you never know, this could go to turn 6 and turn 7. Hive Tyrant going to move through cover as well. 5 inches, so that's enough to get him down, and 2 inches away from the edge of the building. Warrior's going to move forward, try to get into a better position if this game goes long. That will end the movement phase. We're going to jump into the shooting phase, in which you're going to just try and saturate my units to try and get no prisoners. And once again, I forgot my protocol. I'm terrible at this game sometimes. Stranglethorn Cannon from the Warriors, firing across the table into the Castellan Maniple. So a direct hit is going to get both the Castellans and the Data Smith. Go for it.
Reroll.
Okay, so let's hope for a better hit.
Got it.
A direct hit is definitely better. So that's going to be 3 hits, and these are going to be wounding on 6s. No wounds. Biovore is going to launch their mines into the Marines. So once again, a direct hit will hit all 5 of them. So go for it. Okay, so that's 5. The second one, that's 10. And that's going to flip over and just hit 1. So a total of 11 hits against these Marines. 11 hits, wounding on, what's the strength of this?
4.
4, so wounding on 4s. Could have been a bit better, but I mean, wounds are wounds right now, right?
Yep.
3 up armor saves. And 1 will go down. Because it's barrage, it was centered over the heavy bolter, so he goes away. And that will also be a pinning check for these guys, but they're fine. DACFX gonna fire into the Castellan Maniple, just hoping to kill at least 1, because that is enough for Big Game Hunter. So 12 shots, hitting on 4s, twin linked. Good thing it's twin linked. How many more can you add? So that's another 3. Or another 4, sorry. So that's going to be a total of 8 hits. Needing 5s to wound. Not too shabby. That's a whole bunch.
That was a lot.
Alright, 3 up armor save. Followed by 5 up feel no pain. And I will take 1 wound. And these Termagants, 5 of them are able to see the Tech Priest Dominus and the Destroyer. So starting with the flesh borers, you have 3 flesh borers. That guy as well. So that'll be 2 hits and wounding on 6s, I believe. No, 5. 5s?
5s, right?
5s, yeah.
1
wound, 4 up save, which I'll make. And the Devourers, 6 shots, hitting on 4s, 2 hits. And no wounds, unfortunately.
Okay.
1 assault to declare at the end of the shooting phase into the Destroyers and the Dominus, so I do have some Overwatch to do. So starting with the Heavy Grav Cannon, hitting on 6s. 3 hits. Ooh, okay. Wounding on 6s, because your armor save is 6. Nothing. Next up is the Dominus, starting with the Macro Stubber, needing 6s. Nothing. And the Volkite Blaster will miss as well. Looking at a 7-inch charge. And you're in with 9 inches. So that's going to tie them up into combat and give you another shot for no prisoners and blood and guts, depending on if this goes down. At the start of this combat, I do have 1 initiative 10 attack with the Data Spike, hitting on 3s and wounding on a 3. Nothing. Next up is the Destroyer, hitting on a 4, which will hit, and wounding on a 2. So that is a wound. So you have a 6 up save, I believe.
6 up armor save, that's it.
No.
Yep,
So
he dies.
1 Gaunt goes down, and at the initiative 1 step, everything piles in, including the Gaunts, and my Dominus will strike at the same time.
This guy.
So most of the Gaunts will be able to attack. This one guy in the back, though, is just out of range. So I got far fewer attacks, so I'll just get mine out of the way, and then you can attack back. 3 attacks from the Dominus. Rerolling 1s and 2s because of the Remorseless Fist. So that's going to be 2 hits, and wounding on 2s. And that's just 2 dead Gaunts, because it is a power axe.
Cool.
So 2 will go down. And how many attacks do you have back?
14 or so.
14 attacks, okay. Hitting on 4s. 6s to wound because of majority toughness 5. And we see 3 wounds. Okay, I am going to take this on. Yeah, I think the Dominus is just going to tank it.
Okay.
So 2 ups. Yeah, they're fine. And they will win combat. And you are out of Synapse, so needing Snake Eyes to stay in combat? Nope. So let's see if I chase you down. Oh.
Probably not.
Nope, you are going to be able to get away. 7 inches. Now we'll bring the Gaunts back into the safety of Synapse. And I will consolidate 4 inches. Just going to continue moving backwards. So at the end of the turn, Leo was able to get Objective 3 and Recon. So that does give him 2 more points, putting him up to 7 currently. But was not able to get No Prisoners or Blood and Guts or Big Game Hunter. And with this being the end of turn 5, there is a chance that the game will end. Does the game continue? Roll that dice. It does. So we're going to go into Ad Mech, turn 6, and see what happens. At the start of turn 6, I draw 4 objectives. Witch Hunter, Overwhelming Firepower, Ascendancy, and Harness the Warp. I can't... Oh, no, I would have been able to get that because I did have a Psyker. So there's my points. At the start of my turn, I will do the Canticle of the Iron Soul. So these 2 units will have Stubborn, and my Dominus and Destroyer will be Fearless for this turn. In addition to Stubborn, they'll also reroll all failed Morale, Fear, and Pinning checks. So the Castellans, once again, just going to keep shifting back a little bit, and just keep firing. And I'm going to remember at the end of this turn, maybe to put them into their Protector protocol, hopefully. So if it goes on to turn 7, they'll fire twice. Destroyer and Dominus will just shift over 6 inches, and that will be enough to put the Carnifex into line of sight without 25% of it being covered. So I might be able to take him out. And everything else is just going to stay still, and this has become a shooting game for me. I'm going to start the shooting phase, and these Castellans are going to fire into the Malanthrope, hopefully taking it out this turn. Between 12 shots, toughness 5, I think I can do it. So 6 twin linked shots hitting on 4s. Good thing that's twin linked. There we go, there's 4 hits right there. And these are going to be wounding on 3s. 3 wounds with a 5 up cover save.
None.
And they go through. Down to a single wound remaining, and the cover save is reduced by 1 due to the Luminogen special rule. So it's only going to be 6 up cover save on the next volley. The non-twin linked volley will hit 4 times. That's exactly what I needed to see. Wounding on 3s. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, so 6 up. Come on, come on, come on! No!
Oh, wow!
Oh, man. Alright, well, the grab cannon's gonna go at it then.
Okay.
Needing 4s to hit. Okay, 4 hits. Wounding on 3s. 4 wounds, and this is gonna be a 5 up cover save because the Carnifex is blocking the way.
Plus shrouding.
Plus shrouding. No, that's... No, but -1 for Luminogen.
Right.
So 5 up. So go ahead.
It would be...
Sorry, 4 up because 5 plus 2 is down to 3. Yep. So go ahead, 4 up. There we go. Took out the Malanthrope. So that will give me
Kills all the Synapse here too.
Overwhelming Firepower and Synapse. So that actually is going to be a little bit of a boon for me going into this next turn. 4 Bolter Shots going to go into these Termagants, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s for Bolter Drill. So 2 of them are being rerolled for a total of 3 hits, wounding on 3s. And that will be 3 6-up cover saves to make because they're all holding the objective. So 2 will go down, so the front 2 are dead. The heavy arc rifles are going to fire into the same unit, so 4 shots hitting on 4s. 2 hits, and these are going to be wounding on 2s. 2 wounds. Now I am firing through... Oh, actually, yeah, one of them is firing through a friendly unit. So you will have the additional cover save there. So 4 up. Go ahead. And you'll make them both. And that will end my shooting phase and my assault phase for that matter, because I got nothing else going on. So let's go take a look at the objectives. At the end of my turn, I was able to get overwhelming firepower, but that was it. I'm going to discard... Oh, let's just get rid of Harness the Warp, I guess. So I'll be able to draw 2 more cards if it goes into turn 7. Leo will draw 3 cards on his turn, and we have Secure Objective 2, Overwhelming Firepower, and Behind Enemy Lines. At the start of the turn, do these Termagants regroup, needing 6s?
They do.
Okay. Instinctive behavior on these Termagants.
Fine.
Okay, and the wow, card effects. There we go.
I think that's an 8.
And a 7 will be successful. So even with all the instinctive behaviors, that's still pretty much letting you do what you need to. At the very least, these guys are moving 3 inches and they are forced to snap fire because they just rallied. So that is going to be something.
Pretty.
Just going to get them a little bit closer, bring more stuff into range of their weapons. Karn effects, moving forward 6 inches, getting ever closer. Moving the Hive Guard 6 inches forward. Tyrannifex going to move through difficult terrain, try and get objective number 2. Needing 6 inches, there you go. So 6 inches will put him exactly within 3 inches of the objective. Warrior's going to move forward, try and keep everything or as much as they can within a Synapse bubble. Biovore is moving forward through difficult terrain, 6 inches. So they're going to be able to stay within that bubble and keep some things within range of their shots. And these Termagants going to move through difficult terrain, going to try and get back into the Synapse bubble. 5 inches, it should be enough to do the trick. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be enough to do the trick. So they are back in Synapse. In the shooting phase, starting with the Hive Guard, he is within 24 inches of the Destroyer. So 2 shots hitting on 4s. Yes! No hits! My Destroyer lives yet. Warrior is going to fire into the attack Marines here over the Dark Angel. Direct hit will hit all of them. That's going to scatter. Going to reroll that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And that is still going to scatter 12 inches off. And it's going to hit nothing. Biovore is going to launch their payload into the Space Marines once again. So go ahead, a direct hit will hit all 4. That's going to scatter off.
I'll reroll it.
Okay. Going to go for that direct hit.
Yeah.
It's still going to hit at least 3 of them.
Yep.
Yep, so it's going to hit 3.
It's 5, it'll go land there.
Oh, it's 5. That's right, they can't actually see. So sorry, it'll only hit 1 then.
Okay.
But 1 is something, and the next one will scatter back, and that'll hit 1. And the last one, direct hit.
I can put it anywhere I want.
So scatter over and hit 4 for a total of 6. Wounded on 4s. Ooh, only 3 wounds with a 3-up armor save. And I'll make all 3 of them. Dak effects, gonna fire into the Destroyer and Dominus with his 12 twin-linked strength 6 shots. Ooh, good thing it's twin-linked, gets a couple extra hits in there. And adding 3 more hits to that for a total of 11. Not too shabby. Wounded on 3s. Not too bad. So 9 wounds, I gotta do these a couple at a time because of the Destroyer having a different save than the Dominus. So, 4-ups. So the Destroyer is dead. And let's see if the Dominus can tank the rest of these. He sure can. But the Destroyer does go down. These Termagants...
Running.
Oh, they're gonna run instead of pump some shots into them. And because you want to get behind enemy lines.
Close as I can get.
So, that might be enough though. And just shy. It looks like a quarter of an inch. That is unfortunate. And this Termagant squad gonna fire into the Castellans, starting with the Flesh Borers. 1 hit, wounding on a 6. Nothing. And then you have a couple Devourers that can fire into it as well. 2 Devourers hitting on 4s. There's 1 hit.
1 hit.
But no wounds. And that will end the shooting phase. Unless you want to run some stuff.
Not that thing.
No.
Shot. Everything's shot.
So everything is shot. So that will end the shooting phase as we go into the assault phase. Going into the assault phase, the Carnifex is going to assault the Dominus. The Dominus staring him down. Gonna fire with his macro stubber first. Hitting on 6s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 6. No wound, but now the Volkite Blaster. Oh, the Volkite Blaster will hit. And the Volkite Blaster will wound.
Nice.
AP4, so 3 up armor save. Alright. Now we've already measured this out, and you need boxcars.
Exactly, yeah.
So go ahead, roll the boxcars.
No!
No! Only 3 inches. The Carnifex fails to make it in, and that will end turn 6 of the Tyranids. And at the end of the turn, unfortunately, the only one you got was Secure Objective 2. Yeah. So looking at both No Prisoners and Overwhelming Firepower, it does say you just have to destroy a unit. Now, you did destroy the Destroyers, which technically they were a unit even though they were a part of the Dominus. I've seen this played both ways, where you have to take out everything that's in the unit existing, or I've seen it where you just have to take out the entry listing on it. For this game, we're going to play it like you took out the entry, the army list entry. So we're going to count it as you having gotten those 2 points. So you will have secured No Prisoners and Overwhelming Firepower in addition to Objective 2. At the end of turn 5, we just did the math. It is 9 against, well, 10 victory points to 10 victory points. So the game is actually tied right now. So if it doesn't go into turn 7, it's going to end in a draw. So once again, Leo, you may do the honors.
Thank you.
Does it go to turn 7? Does it? No! All right. That is the end of the game. Leo, good game. It was a draw. And wow, very hard fought. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. As always, there's always going to be another game in the vault below. You can go and check that link out. If you're not a vault member, go hit the link anyway. It's going to take you to a 7-day free trial where you're going to get access to everything we've done. Lots of great content, painting tutorials, campaigns, extra video reports, all that sort of stuff. And there's no obligation. Stick around the 7 days, watch what you want, and hopefully we see you stick around because that does help us continue to put out these videos, both the free and the vault ones, and continue to provide you guys with content. So hopefully you stick around, but thank you regardless. And of course we will have a quick post-game discussion about this game, and I think there's a couple of points that both of us are going to want to chat about because there was a lot of interesting things in this game. And also that will be in the vault below, so you can go and check that out. And as always guys, happy wargaming. Alright vault members, here is the post-game report. And holy jumping, a lot happened right from turn 1. It was kind of crazy. So once again, there is Leo who came down from Toronto to get this game in. And say hello to all your friends at Meeple Mart that you play with.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. So it was quite the game. I mean, right from the get-go, me stealing the initiative, getting that deep strike in, and then blowing myself up. It was fantastic. There were some really great moments. What I find most interesting, and I'm just going to start off with this one, and then we can start talking about the game and the tactics.
Sure.
After that initial perils, and losing the Stern Guard, losing the Librarian, I honestly thought I was in a very bad position.
Yes.
Which I kind of was. I kind of was in a bad position. And I thought it was going to be a very uphill fight for me, but instead, like, I actually led for quite a few turns and points.
Yeah, your big thing, I think, was the Terminators over here. Getting into an assault over here that kept me really occupied for a long time. And everything stuck back here for a few turns, and I really needed to be over here.
Yeah, now in all fairness, you might have been able to be a little bit more aggressive about that, because there was only 2 or 3 Terminators at that point. But you had to ask yourself a difficult question as to how much you wanted the Terminators in your backfield, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the important thing is it kept your Tyrannifex back a couple turns. Which was huge, because your Tyrannifex moving forward, even without the the Flamer Torrent, like even if he got into combat, that was something I would have a hard time dealing with.
Yes.
So that was a big thing. I got to say, your Flying Hive Tyrant, I wouldn't say he really did a lot in terms of killing stuff, but he soaked up firepower. He soaked up
like 2-3 turns of your fire.
Yeah, and that was huge. And the big thing is he soaked up a turn of the Benediction of the Omniscience as well.
Yes.
So a turn of my re-rollable firepower, and that was huge.
Yes.
Because that kept me from firing at other things like the Carnifex or the Tyrannifex or even the Malanthrope.
Yes.
Oh god, your Malanthrope.
Yeah, the Malanthrope was a better opening move for you than going after the Tyrant.
Yeah, and we discussed this about 2 turns into it. where I realized instead of going after the Hive Tyrant, if I'd been able to get rid of the Malanthrope, that would have opened up a lot, and that actually would have been the better gambit on my part, and it probably would have made a very different game. Either way, I think you did a good job. You put a lot of pressure on me, which was really solid. Your artillery node being able to just bombard me every turn really kept me in cover.
Yes, it did. It kept you not going out.
Yeah, so these guys were out of range of a lot of things for quite a few turns. I rarely got to fire the bolters here, and that was big. Now, just out of curiosity, if you were coming into this game again, would you do anything to change your list?
I don't know that I would do anything to change my list. I probably would have played it a little bit differently. You're right, I think I overcommitted big monsters over here. I played with this list a bit, so I'm pretty happy with how it performs in general.
Well, you know, with over here, assault terminators do that to people.
Yeah.
They make you make decisions that aren't always the best because they either stick around forever or they die immediately, right? And this was one of those weird instances where they kind of did a little bit of both. They weathered that storm of firepower, they got into combat, delayed you a turn, and that was what they did.
Yes.
So
more of these guys would have been good against Ad Mech in specific.
Oh, yeah, the
Hive Guard
Hive Guard.
Excellent against them.
They just ripped through my destroyers, and that was painful.
Yeah.
I mean, that was... The fact that they're AP4 and ignored cover, like, that just... With destroyers being as devastating as they are.
And the high strength. The thing is, what I need is, like, high strength, and Tyranids don't have it. They don't have a lot of it. They have mostly a lot of strength 6.
Yeah, and that's...
Strength 7.
And that's really what carried me through the game. The fact that I had toughness 5 and toughness 7 going for, like, turn 3 on type of thing.
Taking care of the exocrine early, too, was another good thing.
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to. Like, I didn't like how many units I actually had to put into shooting the thing. But if I didn't, I mean, that was an AP2 blast that was coming at me, and it needed to go down. I know if I had known full well what was going on with this list, because we both made our lists blind, which I think is the best way to really go into these games, I probably would have brought a couple more flame templates.
Yep.
Like maybe throw in some of the Cognis flamers either on the Castellans or on something else, on the destroyers or something like that, just to make it a little bit more, just to make you think twice about charging me with some stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know, like maybe a missile launcher instead of the heavy bolter or something like that for my tactical marines would have been a better option. Just to get a little bit more AP3 out there. Yeah. But it was crazy because as soon as my librarian and stern guard went down, I had to think on the fly and change my game plan big time.
Yep.
I went from having a very aggressive game plan in mind to kind of just going back and just turtling.
Yep. Which worked just fine though.
It was. Now, aside from the librarian blowing himself and his squad up, is there any other moments that stood out for you in this game?
I'm trying to think. This combat here was really exciting.
That was a good one, yeah?
The big pivotal getting rid of the Malanthrope here was
so
super exciting.
close.
Oh, and the gamble I took with my Tyrant also sticks out because
yes.
I was thinking, he's out of his twin link protocols. I can risk the AP3 shooting, and that's when you roll all the 6s.
Oh, I know, it was crazy how many 6s I rolled.
So yeah.
And just think, if I'd actually remembered to put them into the protector protocol and actually fire twice.
Yes.
I'd forgotten that so many turns and so often that actually would have made a big difference.
Starting off, because when you got that second canticle, the twin linking, that's right off the bat. That's what you should have done.
I should have. But that's an interesting aspect on its own that I had been playing all this time without realizing that was one of my command benefits. Was reusing one of the canticles, and I really wish I had realized that sooner. It is, yeah, it really is. It's just a fantastic ability. I gotta say, one moment that really had me kind of panicking was when my Dominus and the Destroyer failed that morale check and started running away.
Because you never know if you're not going to get that again and then keep going.
I know.
And that would be it.
I know. That would have been devastating because that would have been Warlord kill and that would have been a lot of firepower going off the table. So there was definitely some really key big moments. I know there's going to be some people who probably disagree with how we handled your last 2 objectives. I personally think that's the way it has to be handled. If I am wrong and somebody can point me to a page, I would love to see if I'm wrong, but I think that's the proper way of doing it. So I do think that this was a very well-deserved tie on your part, and I think if it wasn't for just some sheer dumb luck on my part, it could have easily been a win for you. Like, I withstood a lot of firepower, and that was a big one for me. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed both the game and this post-game discussion. As always, leave your comments below. We love hearing from you. And of course, all you Vault members, we love you. It is you guys that allow us to do this, so thank you very much for that. So we definitely want to keep talking to you. We want to keep engaging with you. So leave comments, suggestions. Just, you know, we like to talk to you about these sort of things. So hopefully we hear from you and all that. And as always, guys, happy wargaming. And Leo, nice game.
Take care. Thanks.
All right. Have a good one, guys.